Yo, what's up, YouTube? This is Talking Crazy 88. Back again with another live stream for you. Out on the balcony again on this beautiful Monday evening. I hope everybody made a lot of money on this Monday. Here with my Cohiba Maduro, straight off the boat. One of my private stash from Cuban cigars. One of my favorites. I know a guy. All I'm gonna say is I know a guy, and I get re-upped every week. And I stock up on my Cubans. Mm. Mm. It's good. Oh boy. What am I going to talk? What am I going to waste your time on today? I mean, I know I did the Balcony Chronicles yesterday. What am I going to talk about today? Well, I saw on a Facebook post a guy that was falsely imprisoned for almost 20 years was compensated $6 million. And his wife or ex-wife, who divorced him while he was in prison, is suing him for a cut of the $6 million. Now you see, fellas, all these women are the same. No matter how you slice them, man. They always come back whenever their ex usually does very well or has an unexpected windfall. They just can't go on about their business and just leave them alone. Just say, hey, I'm going to leave you alone. I left you alone. I'm going to continue to leave you alone. You know, just like men. I mean, sometimes we call our ex, see if we can try to get some pussy from them. But, you know, it never works. Sometimes it works. It's a crapshoot. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't. Depending on the woman. Depending on how much you like this woman. That kind of tells you something, fellas, that you know you're only worth anything. You're not worth anything to a woman unless you have money or you have an unexpected windfall. Like right now, I could win the lottery and all my exes, would suddenly blow up my phone saying, "Hey, big head. Hey, daddy. How you doing? How your mama doing? How's everybody doing? I'm just calling to check in." No, you're not, bitch. You're not calling to check in. You're just calling because you want something. And like I told you, fellas, man. And I believe I said it on another live stream or podcast that all women want something from a man. They all want something from you. Okay? It's your job to figure out what they want and see if you can, fulfill her needs. Okay? They all want something from a man. It is not love. Okay? Because I believe a woman only has one real love in their life. Okay? That they have experienced. One. It could be when they're younger, it could be when they're middle age, it could be when they're old. They're still gonna think about that man that hit that bottom, that she gave up everything to love on this man. Nah, they wasn't just fun fucking. Men and women, they have children because they were fun fucking. It is what it is. He was a sperm donor. He didn't want to be involved. He was just fucking. Whether or not he chose to take care of that baby, hey, that's on him. But you chose to get pregnant by this man you barely knew. And now you calling him a sperm donor. Alright? Let's call it what it is, baby. You were fun fucking. You gotta take, But then again, women never take accountability, and I want you fellas to understand this. They never take accountability for their behavior. They never do. I want you to expect that. You should expect that. When is the last time a woman called you up and apologized to you for acting like one of the biggest assholes on the planet? That rarely happened. And I can honestly tell you that I was in a long-term relationship, which was a year too, it was 5 years too long. We was together for 5 years, it was 5 years too long. Okay? I knew it was because I knew in my heart and hearts it was just only a short story. We were only meant to be together as a short story, not as a novel. Okay? She believed that it was enough. Was it my fault? Yeah, it was my fault because I wasn't man enough to tell this bitch, hey bitch, go on about your business, all right? All right? I got the pussy, and let's just be friends. Let's be cool. You can get the pussy. You can get this. You can get this dick anytime you want. All right? Let's just leave it at that. All right? And if you're not interested in that, all right, cool. Move on. There's another guy out there for you. There's plenty of guys out there. And like I told you fellas before, there is no such thing as a soulmate. There is no such thing as a love of your life as a man. A man can never have the love of their life. Now, a woman can. All right? She can have that one guy that was the love of her life. And she will never, ever, either one or two things is going to happen. She will never date another man ever again or marry another man ever again. Or she'll settle with you knowing in the back of her mind that you're not the one. The one that got away is the one that she's willing to have babies with. Think about it like this. I want you to think about it in this term. I mean, I don't really like to use celebrities, but they're the best. They're the best. They're the best in using a litmus test to our society in life. Think about it with Will Smith and Jada Pinkett, all right? This bitch openly stated that Tupac Shakur, a dead rapper, was the love of her life. And this sucker actually married this woman and had 2 children and growing old with this bitch, knowing in the back of her mind the love of her life is 6 feet under. The love of her life is the one that she's constantly thinking about. Okay? He was the one that was hitting that bottom. He wasn't giving flowers and candy and writing poetry and all that bull jive. All right? Like y'all sucker for love Negroes are doing. All right? Now, listen, I date old bitches too. I go out there, I date old bitches for practice, but I know in the back of their mind, I am not the one. I'm not the love of her. I'm not going to be the love of her life. She already had the love of her life in her life at one point. But she's going to say to you, oh, you're different. Oh, you love my life. Oh, I think kind of like what Dr. I don't really like to talk about another man's wife, but Dr. Boyce Watkins, man, I mean, I'm not gonna speak on his wife because that's that man's wife, and I want to be respectful. And number two, I don't really know the dynamics in their relationship. None of y'all do. Y'all know from the outside looking in. But I will say this. And he put it out there. He was friends with this woman while he was in college. But they never got together. They were only seen as friends. This is why, fellas, never be friends with a woman. Never, ever, ever. This is the reason why. Because you're gonna get to do boyfriend things without getting the boyfriend, without getting boyfriend treatment. Okay. I don't have female friends. I have female acquaintances. I have females that are the homies, but I don't have female friends. I don't go to that bitch house changing tires or doing plumbing work or fixing the sink and all that bullshit, all that bull job. Putting up IKEA furniture, helping her move. I ain't doing that shit. That's why you got family members, man. Come on. I'll do it if she's in the bind. I'm in a bind, Nate. I'm in a bind talking crazy. Of course, I'm not going to try to get the pussy, but anything like that. But there's no reason for me to be around a woman 24 hours a day. Or longer than necessary. I got shit to do. I don't want to hear her talking about her ex-boyfriends and boyfriends and all that shit. Why? Why the fuck would you do that? Because let me tell you something. If we're not fucking, well, what is the point? You know, and you can say that I made this mistake, but yeah, when I went down to Florida, I met up with this young lady. Beautiful Caucasian woman, man. She's drop dead gorgeous. When I saw her, I was like, oh shit, my jaw just dropped. My jaw dropped. My tongue was hanging out like in the Tex Avery cartoons. I was like, oh shit. She had long black brunette, salt and pepper brunette hair, green eyes, piercing green eyes, a beautiful smile. And she had a figure on her. Even though she had 4 kids, she still got that figure on her, man. I'm like, she got that figure, hourglass figure. I was like, oh shit. And I never thought, you know, when a white woman has a booty, they don't protrude out. It just spreads out. It doesn't bubble over like a black woman, right? It just spreads out. But that's okay. But she has a booty though. I was looking at that shit. I was checking her out. I was like, all right, cool. She wanted to spend time with me. She took me in her house, man. Watched football together, man. And, you know, she was a cool chick, man. My vibes is, you know, I really did want her. But she said to me I was just too young for her. I was like, what, man? Bitch, you're 57 years old. I'm 52. What the fuck? I was like, man, what the fuck? But we were cool. It was a cool vibe. I was attracted to her. My only regret was I didn't tell her that, hey, I'm attracted to you. You're always on my mind. I call you every once in a while just to check on you. There's a reason why I check on you every once in a while. I didn't forget about you. You're always on my mind. But see, this is what I'm saying. I mean, I'm not calling her 24 hours a day. All right. I'm not calling her every day. I'm not calling her every week. I'm not calling her every month. I'm not, whenever I think about her, I text her. I say, hey, how you doing? You all right? How's the kids doing? How's the foster kids doing? You all right? You good? I'm just checking in with you, baby. You married yet? And I told her that you're wife material. But the problem is with me, the reason why I didn't go for it is because she's old. What am I going to do with a 57-year-old woman? Besides fun fucking. What we going to do? We going to just sit around waiting for our Social Security checks to kick in? Come on. Come on. Come on, player. Come on. What we doing here? Now see, now I laid it out for you fellas that it's a waste of time being friends with a woman when you could be out there fun fucking. Getting the women that you want. Getting the women that you like. And eventually you'll find that one that you can write a novel about. That you can write a novel together. Until then, just be content of, writing short stories about bitches that you encounter, man. And don't take it personal when they leave. Y'all, including myself, I did it. Trust me, I did it. I went on an hour and 30-minute rant over a bitch. And I forgot her name. I don't even remember that bitch's name. Yeah, and I got ghosted. Yeah, she ghosted me, so fucking what? She ghosted me, that's a good thing. Because there was probably something wrong with that bitch. And God told me, hey, this bitch ain't. God probably told her, stay away from Danny. Stay away from talking crazy. That's actually a good thing. Okay? So I'm not upset anymore. For what? I be pulling bitches at the bar, and all they want to do is just get dick down, and that's it. Nothing wrong with that. I ain't got no problem with that. And you shouldn't even have a problem with it. My thing is, fellas, y'all spend too much time on the 80-20 rule. That 80% of the bitches want 20% of the men. Which is true. But who's to say that, who are you attracting? I can say, yeah, go to the gym, get yourself healthy, get yourself a six-pack, but that won't even help. Who are you as a person? And what is your purpose on this planet? Who are you? Be yourself. Who are you? First of all, you got to examine who are you. I mean, outside of you and YouTube, I'm a very calm, intellectual, fun person, gregarious, People gravitate to me. I know how to connect well with people. Believe it or not. You know, all that podcast, when I was doing podcasts back in the the last decade, I was angry. I was an angry middle-aged man. But I didn't want to be bitter. Because I began to understand. I began to understand life. I began to understand what new role that a woman plays in a man's life. All right? Well, everybody's talking about the modern woman. Yeah, there's some crazy bitches out there. But you gotta learn, but I've learned over time to adapt to it. Yeah, these bitches are crazy. These bitches are fucked up. But being yourself is being that unique person that woman that will catch that woman's eye. And you don't have to be a sharp dresser. You don't have to have a BMW. You don't have to have making six figures. You don't even need to have a six-pack. I don't have a six-pack. Hopefully, I'm trying to flatten up my stomach. Right now, it's a 16 ounce. It's almost a keg. It's almost a keg, man. And I got to get back out there in the gym and work out. But it's not even about that. Who are you attracting? Who are you as a person? And what are you attracting? What is it about that one woman? Because there's always one woman that likes something about a man, a certain type of man. And I know it's going to be hard for black women when you're around black women. And as a black man, it's hit or miss. But as a black American, as an FBA, man, we're supposed to have some sort of a swag to us. We're supposed to. That's what attracts us. That's what makes us attractive to other races of women. Not an African, maybe a Caribbean, but not an African. But black Americans. A black American FBA man. You should be proud of your lineage. I'm very proud of my lineage. I'm very proud of where I come from. And I'm very proud of my people because we fight. We fight back. Okay? And all these Africans and Caribbeans, black Americans, they can't even get the police off their ass. Oh, yes, we can. We fight back against these motherfuckers. We fight back against the government. We fight back against certain policies that's directed to us. All right? We don't sit around and just take it. Like y'all. And that's why y'all over here. Y'all motherfuckers complaining about this is America is shit. I can go back home and eat for $1. Well, go on back home and eat for $1, motherfucker. You ain't gotta be here. I'll help you get deported. But you're still over here. At the end of the day, you still over here, motherfucker. But like I said, man, y'all really shouldn't be complaining. I'm glad y'all not complaining about these women anymore. Y'all going overseas. Y'all going overseas and messing around with these women. But you also got to understand the concept, man. Those women out there, they want money too. And what you giving them, what the money that you're giving them, you could actually support them for a month. That's like a month's salary. $100 to them is like a month's salary to them. They can live off of that $100 for a month. Oh, those women, they be finessing too. And with social media now, shit. You got to remember, you don't have, when you go over there, or when you go overseas, you do not have home field advantage, player. You don't have home field advantage. You're on the road. You're the road team, player. You don't even know the language. You don't even learn the language, man. Half of y'all motherfuckers going over there, you don't even learn the language. You don't learn the customs. You don't even learn how these women operate over there. And the men over there in their country, the men over there, they're just laughing at y'all. I understand, man. Hey, man, I ain't going over there for no pussy. I'm not going over there to just get some pussy. Shit, I might take a trip down to Cuba to get some cigars, man. Myself. But go out there and have fun. Have a jolly good time, man. But be careful what these gurus are telling you, man. These guys with these travel channels, man, talking about their experiences. That's their experience, man. But there's something behind it. Yeah, you might run into a woman that might throw some pussy at you. There's women out here that'll do that shit. But see, y'all always stuck on these black women. As a black man, as a black American, as an FBA, y'all stuck on these black women. And truth be told, if I do ever get crazy and become a sucker for love again, the woman I will probably marry is a black woman. I'm not saying I'm open to other races or anything, races of women, but I'm gonna have to be honest with you. I'm looking for a black woman, man. Preferably an FBA. We can relate to each other. I can relate better with an FBA than a Caribbean woman or an African woman. Yeah, they're black, but I can't relate to them, man. When I mean stay with your own, I mean fully stay with your own. Because I knew somebody who was married to a Nigerian woman. I think she's from Ghana. And 2 years later, when I ran into the brother, they got divorced. And I was talking to her. She misses being out west. She misses being out in Washington State. And the kids are graduated from high school. They're in college, living their own life. And my man had a very good job at the Pentagon. working at the Pentagon. Security clearances all over the place. Oh man, I wish I had kept in touch with that brother, man. Ugh. But it's all good, man. It's all good. When I see him, he's dating. He's having the time of his life, man. Could it happen? Could I get a divorce from an FBA woman? Yeah, probably, because these bitches love getting divorces. They love getting married and love getting divorces. There's always when you're in a marriage, there's always, with these women, with these modern women right now, there's always going to be an exit strategy. Shout out the couple. Shout out the Coach Gang, because he pointed it out. This is not my words. He pointed it out. They always look. After the wedding, they're always looking for an exit plan, because you're not the love of their life. A woman can only have one love of their life. And a lot of you brothers aren't it. When you meet that woman, if you run into that woman at the club, man, or running that woman in the library or on the street, macking to her, 9 times out of 10, that woman ain't gonna like you. She's struggling to love you. Unless there's something unique about you, something different that she's attracted to you, or she's attracted to your difference. Because she's never really experienced that. I have women telling me that. Let me see how much time I have left. Been on here for 30 minutes, man. Let me go ahead and get off of this because my cigar is almost done. I'm gonna holler at y'all players later, alright? Listen, this is Talking Crazy 88, and I am out of here. And black men, let's be careful out there, alright?